Hi guys, this is Ond, and welcome to your third C++ tutorial. I'm going to do things a little differently from now on with the C++ tutorials. All of the code will already be typed, and I'll just explain it and run my cursor over what I'm talking about, because in my previous tutorials I was having a little trouble sort of doing the whole walk and chew gum at the same time thing. I was trying to type, and I was trying to teach, and it was hurting me. Anyway, our first line up here that we see is include IOStream, and okay, we already know what that does. I showed you in the first two tutorials that that includes the IOStream header. Sometimes this will say IOStream.h. Sometimes they'll want you to put .h underneath IOStream. This particular compiler does not require .h, and most of the newer compilers don't require .h, but if your compiler is giving you troubles, just try adding a .h after IOStream. Same thing with include CMath, another header. This is a new header that we haven't worked with before. Okay, and then down here we have using namespace std, which is in every program, or almost every program, just using the standard namespace. Although I am going to show you a unique twist on that in the, actually I'll show that to you now. Forget about the next video tutorial. Instead of using namespace standard, we can use only certain objects from the standard namespace, such as cout, by putting std : cout, and using std : cin. This way, you don't have to load the entire library into the memory. You can only load the particular things that you're using, which today are cin and cout. Okay, so there's the int main, and there's the opening curly brace. Here's our main function, and here we see double num. Double is the same thing as typing int, only instead of an integer, we're going to get a much more accurate number called a double. The difference between integers and doubles is that integers are whole numbers, and you can only go up to a certain number, whereas doubles are, they can be decimal numbers, and they can have up to 15, I believe, significant digits after the decimal point. So we're going to make a double called num, and then a second double called numpow. Now, the next line we're going to cout, which means print to the screen, if you recall. Enter a number. Then we're going to get input, cin, num. So, essentially, we're storing the data entered from the user into num. Then we're going to cout again, enter a power. We're going to get more input from the user and store that in numpow. Then we're going to have this final cout. Your total is, and then we do a little math. Pow is a function of the CMath library. It takes a number and it puts it to a specified power, and that's what these parameters are here in the parentheses. Num, the first parameter, means what number are we going to put to a power, and then numpow means what power are we putting that number to. So for example, if we had the num as being 5 and then numpow as being 2, we'd have 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. But since we're using variables that are input from the user, we can actually make a program where you can take any number and find out the power of it. Okay. And then we add this /n just to go to the new line. Remember, \n is new line. And the system pause, if you remember, it lets you end the program instead of just closing the window automatically, and you basically don't see the results. And return 0 is at the end of your main function, because the main function always returns a what? A 0. Okay, and that's the program. Let's run it. Take a look. to enter a number. Let's take an easy number that we know, 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So we're going to do it to the third power. Your total is 27. Let's just to prove that it works, let me run it again. Compile and run. Pick another number. How about 12 to the second power? And if you take a second to think about it, you should know that that's 144. And there you go, 144. But if I wanted to, I could take crazy numbers. Like, I don't know, since we used a double, I can put like 15.365, all that crazy stuff, to the sixth power and get this crazy output where it has e's in it and scary trigonometry looking stuff. But and we just made that program in a matter of minutes, and it does a very advanced function. So I hope you learned something from this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please check out my website at www.youtube.com and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and have a good day.